Kevin, thanks very much for joining us on Zoom. Just give us some insights, if you can, on obviously we're in a situation here with coronavirus. How are you seeing the market at the moment, and I guess what are the key things that you're seeing?
Yes, thank you, Richard. So as a real estate advisor, obviously we're talking to as many people in the market as possible. So that's occupiers, investors, developers, banks. Every one of these groups has been impacted, of course, to differing degrees, and of course that degree of disruption that we're seeing right now will impact on these groups differently over time. So essentially what we're doing at the moment is speaking to all of those, trying to understand what their pain points are, and trying to provide them with the best advice that we can at the moment, based on what's happening right now, what we've seen happening from our colleagues in China and other parts of the world, and trying to bring those insights to them so we can help them try and make the best decisions that they can possibly at the moment.
And let's pick that up a little bit, Kevin. I mean, in terms of China, obviously the situation with COVID-19 came earlier to China. There is, for example, are your offices coming back? Are they reopening? What's the position?
Yeah, there's been a great deal of activity in China across all market sectors, property market sectors, and certainly our Colliers offices are starting to come back, but certainly in a different way. I mean, I think most industries and sectors are looking at the way they do that, because it's obviously not a closed and then open season again. So they're having to split teams, into groups, and then have those come on essentially in kind of shifts, if you like, so they don't sort of come across one another and contaminate one another. For example, in the retail and food and beverage sector, there was actually quite a surge back to that as people were allowed, started to be allowed out, and of course, having been shut away for some time, we're quite excited about the prospect of going and doing a bit of shopping, other than for food and medicine, and also going out to a restaurant. So some positive signs there, but certainly it's not back to normal as perhaps we knew it, and certainly some changes will remain, and we'll continue to adapt over time.
And in terms of your advice, I suppose, to your clients, how are you advising them at the moment?
Yes, certainly. We've developed a microsite. The idea here is obviously because things change on a daily basis. Writing reports as we used to, which take weeks, are always out of date before they come online. So essentially, what we're doing here is we've opened up this microsite, talking about the key trends a lot, as you can see, and then we go into specifics in terms of capital markets and other real estate sectors, covering offices, industrial, retail, and then also looking at occupier services and how this is particularly impacting also on occupiers, and then various global viewpoints from around Europe, but this is where you'll also be able to draw on some of the experiences that we've had from our Asia Pacific colleagues as well. We're also running a number of surveys. As these come online, we'll post them up here, along with various other topics that we're looking into.
Okay, good. Thanks very much for joining us today, Kevin. And as it says behind you, keep calm and stay at home until the crisis is over. Thanks very much.
You're very welcome.